trick-or-treating, Grin. Join us as we play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, sitting around the Yale table. So we're going to throw some dice. We're going to try to end this story on a positive note. We're going to try to create legacies.
We got this. It's already set up.
With me as always, the Critiots, the Crit Crew. To my left, we have...
I'm Bryan. I play Aimon Dreven, the aquatic half-elf Bardadin. And Aimon he's tapped out, got very little spells left, and is really not excited about what's going to be coming up next.
And I'm Jason, playing Nox, a changeling rogue, and I'm actually just a poor helpless blind shadow folk right now, and just don't know how I got dragged into this situation. So.
I'm Katie, playing Elias Idlewind, an Airdodasi druid, who kind of panic shifted us to Tyrdal, and so we'll see how that goes.
I'm Maria, and I'm playing Rilda Farseeker, the Drow Ranger, and here we are again, surrounded by people we gotta dispatch. What are you gonna do? Seems like the life.
I'm Ashley, and I am playing Runa, the Tabaxi Cleric, and based off Nox's I don't know where I am, it reminds me of my little blind dog that uses my bigger white dog in the dark to, like, follow them around. So that's all I'm imagining from Nox right now.
Who's your designated seeing eye person?
Right.
The sword.
The sword. I forgot.
Service sword.
Wrong party.
This is my emotional service sword?
Yes.
And I am the GM, or Grandmaster Eric, for this chapter of our tale. So, last we left off, panic! Now back in Tyrdal, you are surrounded by the Queen Mother's guards, which I'm pretty sure you guys were able to identify based off like insignia or clothing. And they all have weapons drawn and pointed towards you, as I believe it was Tenant's wife. Thank you, Alara. Who was like convulsing and kind of like transforming like in a painful situation, but then it was like reverting back. So one of the guards who has a staff teeming with magic says, "Throw down your weapons now." So what do you all want to do?
No, I think we'll hold on to him for now. But
too long.
Guys, why did the guards hate us all of a sudden?
this is
Queen Mommy's guards.
yeah. We
Not the ones
wish
you like.
to see and have an audience with the Queen.
Oh, you will have an audience with the Queen, especially that one, is what he points to Tenant, who is trying to comfort his wife.
Yeah.
But your weapons will not be on you.
They will be staying on us.
You can make an intimidation or a persuasion. Persuasion's going to be a lot harder. Intimidation may work.
We'll do
Would
a
you like some
persuasion.
guidance?
Reaching through the crowd. Boop. Guidance.
I love you.
Alright. So, persuasion without guidance is a 29, 30, 34.
Too fluff.
1,000.
34.
It's harder than you think. Because the...
Can I use woe on whoever's making a opposing check?
It's up to you if you want to.
Are they within
CR
30 feet?
40.
The little miniature on the table with the staff is where the intimidation's coming from.
That one?
That's
Or
the
no,
one.
This
Or
one.
this one?
This one, I think.
The magic wielding guard.
Yeah.
Whose friend did I assassinate? Was it
This
this
one?
person's
Yes.
brother?
I think so. No, wait.
Okay, never mind.
I don't remember.
No. It was
No,
not.
it was like their...
So, like, they don't have a reason.
The tensions on the people or the guards, the bowstrings, it gets really quiet, as if it's kind of like a standoff. And you can hear the bowstrings kind of creaking as if they are ready to just loose.
I was checking what I had out.
The one who you intimidated had a nat 20, but as we know, nat 20s are just numbers, and his number against yours is not enough. It's close, but not enough.
All right. So we will be keeping all of our equipment as
I'll slowly sheathe my sword.
That particular person is going to pull forth a scroll and clutches it in his left hand as if he's going to prepare or ready himself for anything.
okay.
So, we go talk to the queen now. Actually, I just have another question, really quickly. There would be another figure similar to myself. Do you just happen to? I left her here, and
We go. The guards will form up. They will put you in the middle. 3 in the back. I think there's 8 there, so there's 3 in the back,
Okay.
2 on each side, and then 2 in the front leading the way. They're going to march you in the eastern direction towards the remnants of the Dark Mantle compound or estate.
Okay.
If you want to slide the map, just for your guys' visual, we don't have to change it. We're in RP mode currently, but that's kind of the direction you're heading. It is dark, as described before, darker than it was. Time is definitely passed, a lot of time. Colors are, it's crazy timey-wimey.
Right.
Colors are definitely muted, and plant life is beginning to wither. Doesn't have the proper nutrients or whatever, or something is sapping the life from it. Your magic users, it feels like you have an itch you can't scratch because of the wildness of things that are happening. That it is like, you ever get that little like tickle in the back of your throat that you just can't quite, yeah, that's the way it feels all over. Like it's just annoying.
Very phlegmy.
Yeah, I really want to cast some spells.
For everyone to know, listeners, viewers, as well as everybody at the table, 10 or less triggers it. So if you cast the magic, 10 or less will trigger it.
Fireball.
It's like a 50% chance.
I'm rolling for 10 or less now. Give me a fireball.
No.
I mean,
My fur just grew
only-
back from the last time.
It works so often.
The compound you can see is heavily guarded. The warriors and the soldiers and the guards that she has are extremely well outfitted. A lot of them are also wearing either like pendants of that blue crystalline stuff that you guys have encountered in the past. I'm pretty sure you guys encountered the father of what is her name? No.
It was
The other, what is her name?
the consort.
Yes,
The
her.
consort.
Killed?
The one that we killed. The consort that's with us.
I killed
Right, the one you
consort.
rescued.
Yeah.
The one that we rescued.
What's her
but-
name, Notekeeper?
Oh no, we killed her in a
No.
Yeah, but we didn't encounter that. We weren't there. That was the other group.
The other lady.
Oh, our
Shira?
Yes.
Shira, thank you.
She's
Nightshade.
a
Shira
squirrel.
Nightshade. Anyway, yes, you guys.
She's currently a squirrel.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You guys do know that the blue crystal has some sort of significance.
Mhm.
And I would even say that Tenant can probably point out to the group or whisper to the group to pass along. They got magic
Yeah.
without repercussions.
Yeah.
Is what he's gonna let you know.
So we need to get them. We need to get them their jam.
Okay, well, last time I tried to pry one onto the wall, it zapped me. Twice.
You
You
are
were given one
ushered
Actually, I
into
do have one in my pack.
by Shiara. Yeah.
the main house, the estate, the main Dark Mantle estate, and things are drastically changing. There are people doing construction and different things, changing the appearance on the inside currently. Retrofitting it to where that it was, because if you remember when you first entered into here,
This was our house.
Leora was literally like making transition, like she was like having murals painted and all these different things of growth and all this stuff. Now it's becoming more of nobility, fancy things, darkened colors, brilliant purples, spider web motif. It's kind of going to classic, if you will, dark elf or drow.
Yes. Great.
You're brought into the audience chamber in which all this kind of started once you arrived here. And there's several people that are in there with her that are tending to her needs, being the Queen Mother. And she basically just snaps twice. They look and they leave. The guards usher you in. They all take up position at entry-exit points, whether they're windows, doors, or whatever, and they guard them. She sits there. She's very put together. Very light sheer gown with like the appropriate kind of coverages, but enough to be kind of like seductive in a way. She's definitely in her like she would literally be like probably like 60s-ish, but she's like the appearance is much younger than 60s. So she sits there and she says, "So, are you him?" is what she says, looking directly at Tenant. He looks confused. Tenant is slightly emaciated too, because he just got out of prison. Only has some of his gear, which some of you have kept some of the things. He in a very weakened state, not like completely weakened, but you know, not his healthy self, is going to say, well, who else would I be?
I don't know.
I mean, weird
So
doppelganger.
there was a different one, and we killed that one. Maybe that's the one that you
She is
introduced
going
me?
to stand. As she does, all the guards draw weapons, putting it on the group. She kind of comes off the steps, slow walks right to Tenant, looks to him, extends a finger, kind of puts it under his chin, and starts looking at him. There's like a half smile, and then she just turns and goes back to the throne and has a seat and takes her position, which she is extremely comfortable in.
So, as you have asked, we did kill the tenant that you had requested. Now,
We?
Hey,
with that
we
being
don't need to
said,
argue within the group right now.
Forgive me for not being completely forthcoming. I wasn't sure whom or who amongst
everybody,
I could trust, is what she says.
you know,
It was very jarring.
yeah.
We figured out that our tenant wasn't like really tenant.
That's it's very
Yeah.
traumatic.
So, what has been transpiring here since we've been gone, handling your request?
Allura is going to scream out in pain and agony, causing everybody to turn as she like starts the transformation. Her flesh begins to tear and pull, muscles begin to bulge, and then just stops, and then everything goes back as it's like exhausting and painful at the same time. Tenant is like, allow me to help her, is what he's going to suggest or say. And she's going to say, you can. And he's going to, while this conversation will be taking place, he will be aiding, trying to figure out what he needs to do, just so everyone knows. A lot has taken place. Since
What year is it?
it's still the same year.
Oh, thank God.
Roundabout conversation, you guys have been gone for 3 weeks. So it's been 3 weeks since you guys traversed into... the weave is becoming extremely unstable. Like, to the point of a whole nother cataclysmic event. Setting basically this entire world into, like, the Dark Ages. Like, if EMP went off and you got to reset, that's what you're looking at. And the more people panic, the more they use the weave. The more they use the weave, weaker it gets. It's like a bungee cord that's starting to fray. It's going to start splintering until there's like nothing left and then disconnect. Tyrdal is mine now, again, is what she says. My daughter has foolishly ran off with a lot of the forces to take this creature head on because she believed that you were not returning.
Which way?
She gives you a location. She says, I can even get you there in the blink of an eye.
Well, okay. Obviously, you're going to want something, so...
I think at this point...
I just want this to be over so that the world doesn't end or become set back.
Yeah, I guess you can't control something that doesn't exist, huh? I feel like we have a relationship because I was like friends with Liara.
You would know, just for a little backstory, you would know by what Liara has told you, the queen that you serve, that her mother deep down had a kind heart, but never exposed it to anybody other than her. And even though it was kind of one of those like instructional, I'm doing this because I love you, but it wasn't necessarily the kindest.
Endearing.
Right. You also know this is a bad bitch.
Yeah.
She plays by no rules other than to win.
Yeah. What is the proposed state of this kingdom or area or world once we save the world? Like, what's the next order of business? Because that's what I'm concerned with. I don't want to go fighting on the wrong side of...
All I want to do is stop the weave from being broken.
Okay, so once we kill the demon and put him back in wherever he was, like easy peasy, right?
Check. Done.
Like you and Queenie, we have like a big happy family reunion.
No. She's outcast. Done. This place is mine. She left her pathetic brother to guard the throne. Now he's mine, and I'll make him pay.
It's like her son.
Correct.
Yikes.
You can insight check.
I will. Oh, yeah, no, I believe them 100%. 5.
She means business. Sonny, her oldest son, is going to pay because you're getting kind of the vibe, and she's not hiding it. He had something to do with her losing the throne in the first place.
Is he around?
Oh, he's here, but not here.
He's in a dungeon somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Any other special of interest prisoners?
If there was, I wouldn't tell you.
the biggest question I have is
Blake's probably would've found the
That's what I'm
your
thinking,
daughter
but-
and the forces that she took. When did they leave?
2 weeks ago.
How, and based on where the Prince of Demons is located, they would be there now, in a week. I don't know.
If I know her, she laments in trying to pull the trigger on striking, and she's gathered some forces along the way. She probably has an encampment set up somewhere and trying to evaluate the best way to go in without losing life, instead of just taking the proverbial Gorgon by the hair and dealing with it.
That's definitely a trademark phrase. I feel like I had something now I'm gone.
She snaps her fingers. There will be someone who enters into the room as if they were just waiting. It'll be her confidant or her consort. Male, ripped to stacked. Just basically loincloths, sandals, and muscles.
This
How do you know
wasn't
and I
an
don't?
individual that...
No.
This
was not
that was
negative.
with her.
No.
that one.
Okay.
He comes in. When he does, he has kind of a
Not
cloth that's has something wrapped in it, presents it to her, and she extends it to the party and says, if you wish to end this and catch up with her quickly, you will need this. So whoever wants to come take it can do it. The guards will track you. They won't do anything until she gives the order.
I'm an
Yeah.
innocent little tabaxi.
I will...
Take it.
I'll take it.
There's a twinge of arcane coming through the cloth. You can peek, like you just take a little peek-sees. It's at like really brilliant red glowing crystal. You've seen one of these before. You've used one of these before. You were given one by Syndra.
It's the sorcerer's staff.
Red glowing.
Actually, more specifically, Ilias was given this and remembered it about 30 episodes in. Like, oh yeah, we could just break this and go right back to our teleportation circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 This is linked to another one, is what she's going to say. So it will go to where she is.
Okay.
This was acquired from my pathetic son, Gravos, is what she says.
Understood.
It's one and done usage.
All that being said, you got any more of them sick-ass blue gems?
Not for you.
We're trying to save the weave for you.
Then-
For you.
Then do it. You have skills.
This guy.
Quick question. Would Queenie be very upset if her brother's like brutally slain and murdered? But very upset.
I mean, if she got the kingdom because he helped her, I would think that they're pretty close if he believed in her that much. Maybe he hated their mom that much that he didn't...
Is he a lost cause, or do we want to maybe
Lost cause.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
So can we, if hopefully we kill the demon lord and all that nice fun stuff. Can you just promise not to,
McMurder us?
right, or the queen, or any other tabaxi that may or may not?
I can
have
promise
her?
the people that are in this room will not see my wrath unless you come back in here trying to do something you shouldn't do.
Cool. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Right.
I love doing things I'm not supposed to do, though.
Honey, we've talked about this.
My only other question is, to be completely frank, the only reason the four of us are here, and I'm sorry, Rilda, you weren't part of the initial.
Your honor.
The only reason the four of us are even here is to try and build relations between Teardal and the Syndicate. Or not the Syndicate. Yeah, the Royal Syndicate.
Yes, the syndicate.
If we are able to stop the Weave from being destroyed and kill the Prince of Demons, is that something you are open to?
She leans in
Discussions?
and she tightens her gaze. She's staring almost into your soul, and she says, "Under my rule, we will not join any alliance.
Okay.
You can talk to my sympathetic daughter and align with her new kingdom."
Oh, good. She gets to have her own new kingdom. I think that's good. That's the best case scenario for everyone.
Right.
Okay. That works.
Guards, they snap, and they're going to escort you out.
Okay.
Remember, your lives and well-being depends on this just as much as everyone else's. So, good luck to you.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
The guards that are currently escorting us out, I am curious, how many of them have the little blue shinies?
Your passive is higher than a 15?
No.
Oh.
Mine is.
My passive is.
Well, he's the only one really looking. You quickly estimate at least half these guards would have them.
Cool. Any one of them that is close by me?
Let's play evens and odds.
Yes?
Evens or odds?
Even.
No, they keep a
Damn.
wide berth.
Okay.
They're well trained.
Yeah. That's fair.
Not inside the estate though. That'd be bad.
Yeah.
So you are ushered outside the compound, work your way through kind of the estate outside the compound, and then they will basically have two guards that will stay with you wherever you go. The rest of them will peel off and go about their... So now you have shadows. They stay about 25, 30 feet, but they keep you in their eyesight. Their job is to watch and make sure you don't do anything dumb.
They're having a busy day.
But they're not there to interfere. You will notice that there are some of the older remnants have been kind of conformed into workforces, in which they are cleaning debris. They are starting to try to clean up the aftermath of the Prince of Demons released. You know, that whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see there's a lot of graffiti that is tagged all over these certain buildings that have they're trying to basically mark it down, essentially. Like if you had a banner that represented, like, new banners are up, a whole new thing.
Regime.
Mama don't play.
All right, so we got two options here. We can either go now and meet up with Leora, or we can wait and rest and then meet up with her in the morning.
If she's 2 weeks away. Oh wait, we can go and poof.
Yeah.
Yes.
What time of
Quick
day is it?
retcon, just so everybody's up to date. Tenant and his wife are with you. Tenant has removed the amulet and things have subsided. He puts the amulet inside the bag. You all can make a quick perception check if you'd like to see what the amulet looks like.
I remembered you had said it was silver, but that's a 4.
It's on a leather.
I probably
19.
perceived it, but I
19.
don't care.
14.
So like,
Another.
I didn't roll.
Okay, 19. Inside the. Now that you got a quick glance at it, obviously when you first saw it, you got it was a silver amulet. You're gonna see there's some sort of like glow, like a soft light blue glowing gem in the center. That's like the focal point of this amulet. It's all made of silver. The gem kind of pulses very light blue, like a pale moonlight, if you will.
False moon in a silver
So she was wearing a
amulet,
silver
too.
amulet?
Yeah, it's a torture
Ow.
device.
Okay.
Very good. Very
I was
good.
like, hold on, that doesn't make
It
math.
forces their change with the moonlight and everything, but due to it being pure silver, it then hurts them. It is a torture device.
That's disgusting. I mean, I don't know her.
So
but,
the
like,
amulet wasn't preventing the transformation.
No,
it was
causing it.
It was inducing it.
and then preventing it, and then like on.
It's obviously everybody's seen enough movies. It's painful to transform into the hybrid form or wolf form. So it's, you know, your mouth rips open and starts to elongate into a snout, and then nope, it doesn't do it. You know, it's like perpetually doing that over and over again.
That's not that bad.
Not everyone is
Change it
used to
into a
changing.
werewolf in front of us.
Not everyone is used to changing like you are.
I'm still in full-on deception mode with the blind act going on. So.
Okay.
There's not an act.
Come here, Uncle Jerry. Walk this way.
I kind of want to make as much distance between this lovely establishment.
You're growing.
Yeah, you have
As we can.
pretty much free reign to do what you want. You just have shadows that are going to keep their eyes on you.
Are
And
they going
they're
to follow us all the way, or are they just...
until you are gone, they are right by you.
Okay, we're
and
just
there
in
is
the
enough
compound.
guards within 60 feet that you would know if you initiated something, you're going to have a full-on out fight because they're going to be there quick.
I just want to lead this.
That's fine. I will.
Do we want to camp with Queenie, or do we want to like?
She most likely
here?
has an encampment. Is
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I
said.
would like
Maybe
to.
provisions.
I would like to ask the guards if there are any provisions, and I'll kind of flash the like hunk of the gold dais that I broke off. I think we could buy some stuff if there's any more like demon arrows, demon slaying arrows.
There's plenty of places that you can see, and they would even direct you to Charlotte.
So I need regular, actually.
Also, one thing you now also are noticing is that Shira is still with you, but the 3 guards, I think there was 3 guards you guys rescued, they are not.
They are not.
They have been taken.
Figured. Well, Shira's still
Or
a
left.
squirrel.
Or left. You don't know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Shira's still a squirrel.
But for how much longer?
Probably at this point about 10 more minutes.
Okay.
So
There you go.
Who is Shire?
Shira is the consort
to
of
Leora.
Queen Leora.
The one that you guys encountered.
Yes.
The daughter to...
It's the... Technically, she is the sibling of the individual that you brutally
assassinated,
murdered.
one-shot kill.
That was the consort for the Empress.
You don't have to be so hyperbolic. Brutally just murdered expressly.
No, it was brutally.
I'm
It was
expertly.
one arrow.
It was
Expertly.
brutal.
It was one
Pretty
arrow
sure
that
it was
went through
like,
the back and took his
choo, choo,
face
choo.
straight
Yeah,
up.
It was impressive. It was not brutal.
It was very, very
It was
impressive.
poetic.
So with that, I would say let's go ahead very quickly pick up some provisions, and then we will head out. before all of a sudden a squirrel turns into a person in front of these people.
We should probably get that taken care of. Maybe we can take her into a shop with a dressing room and
I
have
go
an
in,
extra cloak.
come out with another drop. Yeah.
She's fine.
So
Quick, I'll ask them questions out here about the arrows, and you can take her in
And poof her into a
and
person.
poof her into a person. I'm asking about all of the places to get arrows in this city.
there's plenty. There's several armaments that they'll sell. Plenty of places for general goods. There's plenty of places for magic items. It's just what you're looking for, and any encounter you have, you are going to have to haggle because the prices have been marked way up, especially when you show your faces.
How dare they?
They will not sell to Rilda.
Nox, I need you
Babe,
to
give
be
me some
our
regular arrows.
And
They
then
hate
they'll
me
buy
here.
your shit for
For good
us.
reason. I think. I don't know.
You were kind of the right hand of the previous queen, and they have now pledged their fealty to Queen Mother.
Cowards is all I'm hearing.
Yes. But, yeah.
But we don't say that out loud.
I just did
That's
that.
an inside thought.
So what's everybody getting?
After I've, exhausted at least 15 minutes and a certain person has walked out.
Yeah, go to a changing room. Squirrel. And then lose concentration on the polymorph. So,
Sure.
She
She transforms.
Transformed back into her normal self.
Sure.
How you feeling?
Sad. That's what she'll say.
Yeah, don't worry.
And hungry.
We'll get that situated. Yeah,
Okay.
I
Cool.
don't really have any extra. Actually,
They can have a
I
good
do
berry.
have some rations.
They can have a good berry.
Don't work on a good berry. Don't.
Two gold.
I have some
Two
left.
gold pieces. I'll allow you guys basically to gather some common clothes, so she can kind of keep herself a little obscure, as well as some food. So if anybody wants to donate
Again.
a couple gold, menial task, you guys will just grab something real quick off the street vendor or whatever, throw some common clothes on her. She's got a hood, kind of keep slightly obscure, and she gets some food in her.
Perfect. All right.
How much for a quiver of arrows that
60 gold
Runa-
pieces. Just
60?
regular arrows, 60 gold pieces.
Can you haggle for me?
I want to know what the fancy arrows are.
More than 60.
Thank you.
They're about 10 gold per arrow.
The non-fancy ones.
No.
The fancy ones?
The fancy ones are 10 gold per arrow.
Oh, like demon slaying arrows?
May charge you a little bit more, but
Okay, yeah.
depending on what you're going with. The average is about 10 gold.
That's cheap.
Maybe.
If they're actually legitimate.
You can buy me 10.
I
I have another 100, so if you want to just get me 10.
Do we want all fancy or do you want some regular?
I got 30, right?
Okay.
It's 30 quiver.
I'm gonna talk
You
to
already
the
There's
shopkeeper.
30 arrows per quiver,
Okay, I mean,
so it's 60
I
gold pieces
purchased
for a full
the
quiver.
gold since no one will
I
talk
wanna-
to you. Okay.
Yes,
I wanna
yes.
I wanna
I
talk
took
with
that out already.
I wanna talk with the shopkeeper.
Sure.
So how crazy have things been the past few weeks?
Look around.
Yeah. You liking things now, or did you prefer it before? I'm gonna roll an insight.
Sure. Business is better. Things are good. Less whispers
Okay.
amongst the people.
I got a 28 on my insight. Does it seem like he's actually happy with Queen Mother being in charge?
Happy is a selective word.
Yeah.
He is dealing with it.
Okay.
No, he's not jumping for joy and saying, "Yay, she's back!" But he's old enough to where he's probably lived through the previous regime with her, and he's okay that things will get a little bit better than maybe they were during the other transition.
Hmm.
But he knows there's some stipulations with that.
Yeah. I will do a persuasion on the haggling and say, listen, we are getting ready to go and fix all of the shit that's going
That
on.
sucks. Good luck.
Any assistance that you can provide.
My shop is yours.
at a reasonable price.
These prices are fairly reasonable for tribulations and trials these days.
Yes, well, we all know that you've had this stock well before that.
That's the benefit of thinking ahead, is what I'll say.
This guy.
You can go ahead and make a persuasion.
24.
He'll work with you. It's not double the price, but it's probably like
1.5 times price.
I was gonna say about like like a quarter of a price more. Makes sense.
Alright.
I'm gonna pull out my fist-sized chunk of gold and put it on the counter and be like, so those demon slaying arrows. I feel like this is like 20 of them.
I only have 10.
Any other fancy arrows?
Ooh, like what?
I
have an assortment in the back.
Plus, radiant arrows? Radiant's good against demons, right? Okay, yep.
3. I got 3 of those.
We have that
He'll start piling it up. So you've got 10 of the demon slaying, 3 of the radiant.
I have 100 gold to add to that hunk too that I'm sending in with her.
A couple potions might be a good idea.
Yeah, potions. Potions would be great. Yep, yep, all the potions.
Regular or greater healing if you have
any healing potions would be great.
He has Supreme, all the way up to Supreme.
Okay, well, I don't think we can afford the Supreme.
This is just a good chunk of gold.
He will throw 2 superiors on there.
Okay.
2 spears? Okay.
You're getting a little thin in the pot here, is what he's saying. Anything else?
I'll give you 1 of the radiant heroes. Okay. And then 5 of the demon slaying. I'll give you 1 of the superior healing potions.
Give it to...
I'll give you the superior healing potion.
Yeah.
I think...
I say so far.
Do we have any other... So I think that'll be pretty good for the, like, chunk of gold that I gave him. But then I have, like, normal money, too. So are there just normal potions?
Sure. 100 gold pieces per.
And then what about, like, potions of invisibility?
300 gold pieces.
We have 2 potions we stole from Tenant.
Ooh, I wonder if he can tell us what those are.
And then
off the truck.
I think we also
I'll trade
have-
you this poison sword for a potion of invisibility.
I have a potion of invisibility.
Damn it, never mind.
I can give you.
Do we want anything else? Guys, I got a lot of extra junk.
I don't think there's anything else that we really need outside
Oh
of
my
this.
god.
Any other
There's like 3 swords sticking out my back, and I've got like a bulging backpack. Like, actually, I probably would have just put this on the back of holding that we have.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
What am I adding?
Hold 1 moment, please.
Do you have any just generally magic arrows? Just like +2, +3?
Sure.
Asking from a distance since I'm outside. Hey babe, ask about regular magic arrows.
Alright.
Oh, damn. Does anyone know I have this Betrayer's Shadow Sword? Because it's 76 necrotic damage on a hit. Just
No.
if anyone wanted
No
that,
one knows that you have that.
a thing.
I know people that use swords.
I don't. Alright,
Just a little aside. Do you like? No, you
I
have
got
your
my
CNI
blade.
sword.
I
Yeah.
got my CNI sword I need.
I think...
Maybe I should just
I
start
think we're
dual
good.
wielding. Do I need an AC? Do I need? What else can I get?
I also have a shadow I'll play.
So let's see.
Don't use.
What? I have a ring of protection and a cloak of protection. Are there like boots of protection?
Not here. Maybe season 3.
Gauntlets of protection.
Because yeah, not gonna lie, I think I'm just
brain.
gonna dual wield a betrayer short sword and a special butter knife.
Any other provisions? Anybody want anything else? Okay.
How many level 2s can I get for 100 gold pieces?
2.
2 arrows? Fine. This is the worst. worst shop ever.
I am happy with it.
Just wait till we get to the encampment and we find somebody that's just trying to get rid of all this stuff.
Right? That's always what happens.
Just have arrows. All these arrows. It's useless demon slaying arrows. I got quivers full of them. Take them, please.
Just use them.
I found out 2 weeks ago they don't work.
Shall we disembark via magical transport?
Yeah, I think we are good to go.
Do you think we're gonna arrive to a battle and we're gonna,
Probably.
No idea. We'll find out.
We're gonna find out.
Okay.
All right. Tenant, I'm assuming you and your wife are gonna come at least.
Oh, absolutely. I don't want to stay here.
Yes.
I can relate to that at least.
All right, so all of us will form up, get together, and
Poof, poof.
yeah, I will wave bye to the guards and smash the stone.
Okay. Yeah. When you do, how do you smash it? You just gonna smash it with your hands? You're gonna throw it to the ground? You're gonna
Ground.
Sure. Throw it in the ground, and when you do, there's this tiny moat of like red light that kind of drifts up, and then everybody just feels themselves like from the center core just sucked into it, just twisted and warped into this light, and then just vomited out on this other end.
I'm never used to
man.
that.
This, when you arrive at an encampment, in the center of an encampment, in which people are like, what? Like guards are immediately trying to get their gear and stuff. These are friendly faces, though. These are guards and warriors of Leora.
It's okay. It's okay.
Hey guys,
Most
it's me.
of them will ease down because they've seen you around or they've heard of you. So yes, one of the guards will step up and say, "It's good to see you. We assume that you were not coming back or dead. Let me take you to the queen."
Funny
Yes.
you say that.
So you can see that the condition, there has been some fighting that's taken place, but they are set up in a safe location, or so they feel, away from whatever it is that they're dealing with. You're led to a very large, lavish-looking tent. When you are presented into, it is essentially the war table. She is standing around with several other familiar faces. You are going to see Amaret. You are going to see Uncle and Twilight.
Yay.
You are also going to see.
Trolls.
You are also going to see Balak, who is there next to her. I don't know if you guys remember him. Yeah, he was your escort
Oh yeah.
that had to deal with you guys all the way until there. And
Yeah.
finally got rid of you.
Forgot about him.
As they all turn and look, and there are smiles kind of all over their faces. The
Did you mention the
queen's.
furry one?
Snowflakes.
You
Yes,
don't-
thank you.
You don't see her.
Okay, damn it.
Was not mentioned.
Friends is what you'll hear Twilight say, and Uncle, "Oh yes, they have finally made it."
Yeah,
Look, it's been time.
it's been something.
There will be pleasantries that are exchanged.
Is Tenant with us?
Yeah, he came with you.
Okay. I was hoping he forgot that I still have a sword.
He just
We still have
continually,
some.
continually hunters marks you and tracks you. Never that time. Never that time.
I just want to keep the special butter knife.
So what do you guys wish to do? The site essentially is one gigantic kind of setup table with a stretched out map, rocks and various things that look like they've been assigned as like forces and tents, like they've got all kind of laid out.
What's the current state?
We need
Step on up is what Leora is going to say, as she seems completely oblivious as to what
Also,
state Tyrdal is in.
here's Shiara.
There is going to
Oh, she
be
doesn't know.
No, not yet.
No one told her?
Not yet. It's been 2 weeks they've been traveling.
there is going to be like a brief moment in which they kind of privately have this kind of embrace. They have a moment together. As that is taking place, Amaret is going to say, "Allow me to fill you in on the situation while the queen steps away. he or she, my apologies, is going to basically say that they've located the location. It's burrowed into a hill, and we're pretty sure that it's made its nest down in the depths of the earth. There is a large amount of forces of snake and reptilian-like creatures that have entrenched themselves around the entry point. We believe we have enough magics, enough forces and things to kind of deal with the forces.
Yeah.
But it's going to take about everything we have currently rallied, essentially, to do so.
Okay.
Is there a semblance of a plan afoot? Is there some kind of thing we need to fall into, or we?
Literally, they were just making plans on how to divide their forces equally enough to kind of make a multi-prong attack, to try to split it up the best they can instead of just rushing into death.
And
Campbell
your
Conley.
special Tabaxi delegation is here, alive, on this plane of existence. Why aren't you answering any of these things?
Dead.
You're asking Amaret? Or
the
you?
general area, actually.
okay.
Anyone. Yep.
Oh, she's just fine, is what Uncle says. She's out amongst the camp. You can find her.
Oh, thank God. Okay, good. Carry on.
Uncle might not know which tabaxi you're talking about.
God damn it. Okay, I'm gonna leave the room to go satisfy the urge that my best friend did not get murdered by queens or demons.
You can
or...
spend time making a
I would like to channel my inner bloodhound background.
survival. You can do a survival to while you're doing that, they're going to fill you in. Twilight is going to pull you aside. Twilight pulls you aside specifically and says, I have a few things for you.
Oh.
She's going to reach to her side satchel. She digs in the satchel a little bit deeper than you normally would, and she's going to pull out a couple things. She is going to pull out...
It's very useful.
Get rid of that note page. There's a helm. Beautiful looking helm. And which she hands over to you and says, this should take care of your headaches. That's what she said with a smile.
Are the other people going to be sucked out of your body?
Thank God someone's been working at this, is what you hear in your head. I've run out of space on the walls in here.
He's starting to draw.
Wait, it's going dark. No, take it back off.
She also is going to pull out this gorgeous gold inlaid tome and just pulls it about halfway out. You can make a religion check. You are a sort of paladin. Ish.
Sometimes.
You're also like a bard who's probably treasure hunted. You can actually have advantage on this. You can have advantage on this one because this would be like a historical article.
6.
Okay.
It's
It's a pretty looking book, that's for sure.
Oh, look at that pretty book.
I'm not in here, right? Like
I'm still
I'd have
talking
been all
my
over the pretty shiny book. Believe me.
I'm talking over my
I
shoulder
don't
to somebody
I
that's
don't
talking
know
to me.
who you want to have this, but Nox has the key for it, is what Twilight was saying.
Wait, Nox has the key for it?
Oh, the little finger, the middle finger that I gave.
Oh.
You flip it off.
Oh, okay. It's fingerprint.
You see, I learned that the finger was actually the finger from a priest of the All-Father that was used to open this book. That's what she says.
She's so pumped.
Okay.
Refer to previous episode with the insight tricks for all the details.
Interesting. Okay.
So the book of the tome is somebody who's religious. So it's either you or you. I'm pretty sure.
I think we've already determined that I physically would need to grow like 6 more hands like Krishna to be able to use all of the things that I have now. Although I do have an open slot. That...
Uncle is going to be like, oh, and don't forget these. And she pulls out other like tomes and books that she can. She's like, I wrote about them in the journal. I don't know if you guys have been checking your journal or not.
I may have gotten sidetracked on that one.
I mean,
So if you pull the journal out, there is like tons of extra notes and pages. There is like Uncle transcribed
I feel like
versions.
Have you not been paying attention to the notifications?
There is this drawing. There's a drawing of this particular person that's like really descriptive.
it's a very neat drawing.
Human male. Oh yes, she says. We can talk more about that later. That's what Uncle will say.
Ooh.
Okay.
Anyway, the tomes that she's going to present for the party. Let me find these ye old notes.
Can you just imagine how awesome a bag of holding would be at a library?
Yeah,
Ha, that'd be great.
Who wants to take a look at these books?
I will.
Okay, well, they'll splay out there, but one of them is going to be called Dante's Directory of Demonology. The other one is Mordenkainen's Mysterious Tower of Twilight, and there's one called The Weave. Well, they don't necessarily need this one, Uncle, is what she says towards the Mordenkainen's Mysterious Tower of Twilight. But the other two, they can peruse if they'd like.
Do we have any readers?
I'm an avid reader up in my mountaintop.
Okay. The queen returns to the table. Shiara looks okay. She stands off the side. There is another very old-looking male drow that has noble clothing, but it's tattered, like very worn, very dirty. Frail looking, but carries himself like he's not on a cane or anything in particular, but he walks to the queen and begins to talk with the queen a little bit. She nods a little bit. The older man looks directly towards Rilda. Light smile, nods, then looks at the rest of you.
Do I know him?
You've never seen this man in your life.
I give him a look like, take a picture, it lasts longer.
I'm just wandering around the city with my 19 survival.
You are going to hear the familiar
I'll know
tone
him.
of Flakes as she is aiding and helping some of the soldiers, whether it be kind of distributing rations or helping them with weapons or any way she can, get her paws on things to help. She's doing it.
He said pause.
I'll take my paw and kind of clap her on the back and fill her in on like, oh yeah, so we went to this place and we went through these things and we almost died and there was like some dead things and a weird river that like sucked our soul and then there was a fireball that I cast. It was pretty cool. Then the tenant we thought was our tenant was not our tenant. He like shapeshifted and we pushed him off a staircase. Elias got stabbed.
Literally just covers her mouth with her hand and just gives you a big hug. There's a little maturity and growth from the last time.
Is there like a fog of blackness kind of trailing off of her for any reason?
No.
Okay,
no,
just making sure.
no.
I'm not there, but I just want to cover the bases.
And then I'm gonna say, so we're all back. Bad news. Apparently the old Queenie took back over the city. Since you guys been gone.
Well, let's not tell the queen about that just yet. We need to keep her focused, is what she says. And I know you have a hard time of keeping this. She puts one finger to your lip, closed.
That's irony right there.
Excuse me, please.
So, okay, but I mean, everyone's in there. I don't know if somebody else might tell.
Well, you should just stay out here with me. We can help the people out there. I'm sure they will call you if they need you.
They got it.
It's good to see you.
No, they won't. I've had this sending stone and no one's ever called me.
Did you turn it on?
Is it on Do Not Disturb? Do Not Disturb?
Do not disturb.
You're holding the button down. I
Ye
can't
old
smoke.
disturb not button.
We have 2 sending stones and neither of them go anywhere.
It is it's the plane of air actually mode.
So
these forces, you said it's enough to take out his forces, but not him. Yes.
So they have approximately anywhere between 50 to 70 capable bodies left from where they marched.
Gotcha.
There's enough. There's probably anywhere between 40 to 50 various creatures nesting outside the lair as guards or protecting forces. There's one major cavern entrance that is large enough that he probably carved his way in. But there is a few small side channels or caverns that you could probably get through that we've located. So our plan was essentially to have a small contingency to slide in one of these small things while we basically distract and eliminate some of the extra attackers, essentially. Now that you're here, it's great news. Our forces have drastically improved.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
When is this the plot?
They are scheduled to go anytime. They have gathered as much supplies as they can. They have scavenged and helped as many people and got it's just ready to go.
What surveillance has been done on him since he took?
You can't get close enough. He's deep.
He doesn't come in and out, send people in and out, or anything like that. He's just nested.
Nope. You also know that you are now here in this area. It is now every time you cast magic, you roll on the wild magic because it is insanely bad here.
Have we sent any?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, have we sent anyone that has the ability to be small, like a bird or something, in there to take a look?
There has been attempts, but they've been thwarted.
Okay. And when you're in the mountain or observing the mountain, has there been like walls of protection up that we would need to be worried about, things like that, or is it basically walk into a bear's nest?
You're pretty much walking into the lion's den.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, don't forget that the last time we were face to face with him, he kind of caused some slight insanity. Yeah. So the problem is. If he's made himself a little home,
The whole home is gonna be
Crazy
vibes.
yeah.
What is do we have anyone, or would I know any kind of history about this kind of creature? Like their habits, what they eat, what they're here for? Is he just there to live and chill and be good? Like, you have a reason with this guy? What is the end goal in his?
I mean,
Sounds like we have a
himself
book.
is. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
That's what Uncle will say. Read this book and hands it over to you, and it is going to be the weave.
Oh, the weave.
Yeah.
He is fucking up the weave.
Just his presence is causing the chaos, and that's his entire purpose.
So there's literally like 3 highlighted things. There's what's the weave, chapter 1. Chapter 2 is the ley lines. Chapter 3 is the loom, and chapter 4 is variant weaves. It's like that's what you glance at. If you want more details, I'll give you the details. It's up to you guys.
I mean, I'd be fascinated. I'm assuming the weave has to do with what probably is providing magic into the ley lines.
Mm-hmm.
He is taking and absorbing / breaking apart the weave, which is causing the ley lines to be wildly over / underpowered, depending on timing. And yeah.
Is there a way for us
something along those lines?
You're pretty close.
Is there a way for us to sever the connection? Like, take the fiber optic cables and be like, slap, slap, you're cut off of the ley line.
Let's go and build off what
Big murdering.
Aimon has provided. The loom is the next chapter. That's the next thing that you guys have not touched on. So, while not proven, many theologists believe that through extensive research and studies that they've done, that in the center of the extensive plains scattered throughout the vast scape of the multiverse, there lies one connecting conduit or connection that feeds the weave to these various locations of the multiverse. The connection has been labeled the loom. It is believed the loom houses multiple variants of God or gods of magic that provides their adaptation of the weave to their piece of the multiverse. That's how you can have multiple gods in multiple different levels of the same thing. This collection of variants has been labeled as the Weavers. the more you flip through, it's pretty much going into useless stuff beyond that point. That's about the bulk of information that's going to be like, okay, so basically for everybody to pay attention and be on the same page, one thing that's kind of outside, or that is this nucleus center point that feeds into the various levels of existence in different Earths or planets, essentially. There is a collection called the Weavers that are the gods that supply their powers or their whatever through the various weaves, and they could be called like, you know, the Raven Queen. Could be the Raven Queen on multiple levels, but on another level, or this could be called something as the Queen of, you know, birds or something. While it is the same person, titles and representations are different and various multiversal things. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that way it kind of helps me explain, like, if you play in various things.
So capital G gods handle the weavers. Lowercase g gods are like what we see or interact or pray to.
But they're all the same thing.
Yeah. They're the same but different.
The big
Same but different.
Right.
Yeah.
Same, different.
Same but not same.
Then the next thing that's intriguing is the variant weaves. So one of the things that remains very consistent throughout history of the weave and the theory of the loom is over entity or other entities attempting to create their own weave and their own image and attempting to replace the Mistra, is what it says, the goddess of magic. That's foreign to you guys. Essentially, for above the table talk, Mistra is the god or goddess of magic. Play Baldur's Gate 3 and other games. There's two things that are like bullet pointed. There's the Shadow Weave and the Demon Weave. You instinctually, I'm sure, are going to go to the Demon Weave. And this weave, known as the Demon Weave, was constructed by Lolth upon the demise of Mistra, the first form of the reincarnated Mistral, the reincarnated Mistra. Using the remains of her Tauren Weave to reestablish the connection to magic, the Demon Weave drained both power and stability from the remains of Mistra's weave that was created. As Loth had not managed a solution to sustain it herself, you jump back to the Shadow Weave, and that weave was constructed by the goddess Shar, and is also referred to as the Dark Lady's Weave. It has resulted in the creation of shadow magics, as their tether of the weave was constructed in the negative space in between outside of the reach of Mistra's influence. So the shadow fell is a result. Where you guys just came from is a pretty significant result.
How close is that angel that we talked to these people? The Solar.
They have connections. They
Holler,
can maneuver, or they can be summoned to. It's just if those gods wish to allow them.
But don't we have we put his heart in the stone?
Yes.
So we can call him, right?
You got one shot.
We can, but we can only call him once.
So you believe.
Can we whisper to his and be like, yo, dog, cut the loom off?
No, it ain't that easy.
Damn. Never hurts to ask. Well, I mean, they might have some insight. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, if my 2 cents would be, because we probably, we have one shot at that, would be to get him just before we go to...
There's the Dante's Directory of Demonology. Somebody can read that if you want to.
And all my...
Yeah, you can move all that.
In all my years of adventuring, research, and study of various demons of the 9 hells, only one deserves the fear, respect, and the title of Prince of Demons, the Demigorgon. One of several demon lords in the Demigorgon is the embodiment of chaos, madness, destruction, seeking to corrupt all that is good and undermine order in the multiverse, to see everything dragged howling into infinite depths of the abyss. The Demon Lord is a meld of different forms with a Surian lower body and clawed webbed feet, as well as suckered tentacles sprouting from the shoulders of great ape-like torso, surmounted by 2 hideous simian heads named Emuel and Hathrodaya.
Sure.
Hathrodaya. Both equally mad. Their gaze brings madness and confusion to any who confront it.
I can take over.
Oh, sure.
Similarly, the spiraling Y design of Demogorgon's cult can inspire madness in those who contemplate it for too long. All followers of the Prince of Demon go mad sooner or later. The region containing the Prince of Demon's lairs is warped by his magic, creating one or more of the following effects. The area within 6 miles of the Demogorgon's lair becomes overpopulated with lizards, poisonous snakes, and other venomous beasts.
Checkmark.
Mm-hmm.
Beasts within 1 mile of the Demogorgon's lair seem to become violent and crazed, even creatures that are normally docile. If one spends a short rest or longer within close proximity of the Prince of Demon, quickly descends into fits of madness. All the ancient writings and texts that I've discovered and involving the Demogorgon state that the beast is resistant to cold, icy stings, flames intense flicker, and storms lightning. The effects of poison, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing have no effect on the Prince of Demons. The beast is unable to be charmed, frightened, and never suffers from exhaustion. His sight is beyond all sight, true as can be. Needless to say, if one finds oneself in front of the master of the spiraling depths, make peace with thy God and pray for a quick end.
Okay.
That is not in any way frightening.
No, but it's helpful.
It's
This is what Twilight would say.
very helpful.
I'm terrified.
So basically, he.
Make us go crazy.
Well, yeah, he's going to make us go crazy. We don't want to use ice, fire, lightning, poison, and non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, slashing.
Correct.
So, be prepared for that.
I think I'm prepared for that.
I still bludgeoning around.
Okay.
Do we have an idea of the teams that will be dispersed for the various things?
The queen is going to start kind of demonstrating by pointing to the different things that she's delegated, yes. They had a small infiltration team, one of which was Flakes was going to lead the team into. She volunteered and would not
Take no for an answer.
Yeah.
That's all right.
But now that you are here,
Oh.
and I'm hoping have achieved many of the goals and quests,
Yeah,
you
totally.
would have stronger resources to be that team.
Yeah, totally.
I can definitely be sneaky and help everyone else be sneaky.
Yeah. So, the problem is, the sight truer than true.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he will see through all attempts at stealth, invisibility, all of that. So, unfortunately, stealth, invisibility, not gonna work against him. It'll work against his lackeys.
That's what I was thinking. Like, let's thin the herd, so to speak. Kill off some of the masses stealthily, as many as possible before we incite the battle, possibly.
His true sight won't work on me if I change into a different form.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a physical attribute.
True.
Can I get close enough to him now?
Yeah, it's like magical, like polymorph visibility. You can see through it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But you being it now, it would shift.
I mean, my ultimate thought, terrible as it is, we have a job to do. The rest of the soldiers have a job to do. The soldier's job is to keep all of lizards, snakes, and all of them off of us. So we can go and get in and kill.
The older male drow that's sitting next to the queen says, "That's it. He gets it."
if we spend our time and energy fighting against the other creatures, trying to aid the soldiers,
You won't be able to
yeah,
do a hard job.
people are going to die. People always die.
Yeah. I know that
Trust me.
feeling. Literally.
I've seen many people die, is what Tenant will say. It doesn't get easier. You just get numb to it after a while.
But everybody's gonna die if we don't do this.
Correct.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
I mean, I've already died for this cause once, so it's not like it's just put it on my notch, put it on my belt.
Have you?
There may be no coming
We've
back from
Both
this,
died.
is what Tenant will say. You're fighting the Prince of Demons. Your soul may be gone and unable to return. Prepare yourselves for that. Make peace with thy gods.
I just grab a leaf and kiss it.
Turns out to be poison ivy.
Worse.
Whoa.
I'm pretty sure I wouldn't grab poison
Then
ivy.
you kiss me and I'm horribly allergic, and then I go into battle with a half-swelled face.
She won't stop scratching her ear. Put a collar on her.
You got mites.
I go into battle with a cone.
Alright, Grin, it's time for your ear drums.
Okay. So you got the plan. You've got resources. You got things that you can do.
Yeah.
They're going to basically see if you're in or you're out. I mean, there's really not too many options. You don't have to do it. You really don't. Things will just get worse progressively or quickly, depending on his time frame and what he feels like doing.
Can I have wandered back in at this point?
I would say this is a good time that both you and Flakes could wander in.
About how far are we away from the encampment again?
Over a mile.
Over a mile.
Mm-hmm. Because
It's
if you're
like
at
it
a
was
mile,
tailored
Then
to
we
it.
lose,
you go crazy or you run the risk.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to Tenant with the special butter slicer.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, Tenant, I mean, I know this is yours, but I would really like to use it. And we're gonna go fight the demon, and you seem like you could use a little bit of rest and recuperation.
He takes your hands or your paws and says, you can keep the sword. But if you return
You can
and
have
I
it
am
back.
alive, I want it back.
Okay.
And then Flakes is super happy and she gives them both hugs and stuff because she had a pretty good rapport with them. So they have a little catching up to do. She starts helping Alara, his wife. What is it?
Alara?
Alara.
Alara, yeah.
Alara.
I will also ask about because she has an amulet of the ley lines, and then she also has a little blue glowing chip because she was the one that chipped it off. I'll ask her if, since she's going to lead a detachment, that if we could have those two items, or if there would be any extra items of that sort that we could have for our
And
magic
you're asking
users.
Flakes.
Flakes specifically for those two, and then the queen and guards, armorers, if there are any others.
The queen can provide 2 amulets for 2 magic users. Flakes has the little blue chip of stone.
Yeah, she has a little chip, and then she actually has the one amulet.
So
of
then she will keep the chip for herself. She will designate. So you have 3 amulets you can use. So you can distribute them. You will notice that the queen takes it off of herself personally and adds it. So one of the ones that she has is from her personally. The other one will come from the old gentleman who is by her side. And the old gentleman is going to extend his directly to Rilda, first and foremost.
It is Daddy Farseeker!
Or Grandpa
My daddy
Farseeker.
gave me a name. And he walked away. Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
I'm kind of just guarded. I don't know. I'll kind of look at Liara. Wait, Leora. With a question on my face, but not have it, not say anything. Just
She gives you a nod, a confirmation.
okay.
And everybody who's watching the two of them like side by side, it's like, oh, they're related because there's a lot of features. He's very old,
I'm in denial.
but
Why am I attracted to this older gentleman?
This is your namesake. Your life's journey is to seek him from far away. That's how you earn your time.
Sometimes in my village, we leave a small child out in the snow and hope they come back to the village and survive. It's
you
a test of...
put that damn helmet on and get me out of here. That's what you're going to hear. I don't want to die with you.
But wait, we also need to be married.
That's what I was going to say. Like, maybe first thing in the morning, we could all put our
We need
fancy
a-
stuff on and
A certain...
Get married and
ceremony.
dawn.
Dawn, yeah.
Yes,
and then
pretty
we
much.
march.
And everyone dies.
That's pretty. Yeah. We're trying to use the benefits of a ceremony.
Are we committed to that?
We are committed to that.
Okay.
Quite committed.
What is?
I guess
what
who-
level spell
We already
is
moved in
ceremony?
together.
So
like,
here,
we'll
so
have
here's
to-
what we'll do to progress our story. That's perfectly fine. You're going to get a long rest in. You're going to have the night. There's going to be a lot of things to keep everything moving and flowing. Rilda, you are going to learn that this older gentleman is Ryle Farseeker. He is indeed your father. Your father was basically pronounced dead, but not. It was a cover story. He's been buried deep down into the Underdark, protecting a vault.
Do I, like, in
You
my
have
past...
zero.
Okay, I
and
never had any interaction prior.
This was
like...
this was set up by a Relica, Queen Mommy, protecting something that was really fucking valuable and really dangerous, and it was him and a few other people that were locked away.
Did he know about me?
Oh, he knew about you, yes. But this was his service to the Queen, is what he was ordered to do.
To the Queen Mother.
For the Queen Mother, yes,
For the
correct.
Queen Mother.
So he's been buried down there for hundreds of years or whatever, doing his duty.
I'm like 95.
I know we're not
And
supposed to
295. Like,
see each other before the wedding, but I feel like
We're under
if
a
you
little
need
bit-
some comfort, I will be here for you because that's a lot of.
You're also
emotional
going to
things.
notice that there is a throuple developing between Shira, the Queen, and Flakes. Yeah.
Yeah, go
They are
Flakes!
all getting together, smashing well. And you can see that the Queen is definitely taking care of Shira or Shira. I don't know at this point.
Shira.
The interpretation.
It's just like a regional dialect.
It's-
you know,
sure.
little accent.
Yeah, we're 50 plus episodes into this. And my brain is taxed. But there is good conversation, good meal, and things they're having as the night progresses.
I would probably work up my courage. I don't drink alcohol as a character, but maybe with some tea to maybe try to have a conversation with Daddy Warbucks. Daddy Farseeker. Daddy Warbucks.
There's a lot of things that he tells you, and there's a lot of things that if you pry and ask, he will not reveal. You cannot pry, and you cannot get anything out of what he was doing down there, what he was guarding, what he knows. It's
think I
almost as if he literally legit can't remember, but anything he can, he's tight-lipped, which
I
is
probably ask more about, like, you know, my lineage and, like, where's my mother, stuff like
okay. So he will give you the backstory of your lineage. They were very faithful to the house. They've been basically kind of like you, right? Kind of right hand, trusted. Your mother, he had her when there was a transition between mommy and daughter. He had her made sure that she had provisions and found a way to have her kind of whisked away. He doesn't know exactly where she's at. He knows that she was still alive, the last, but he wanted to protect her because he wasn't sure what was going to happen when the tides changed. So she could still be out there somewhere.
Cool. Sounds like a sequel. Okay. Well, and, you know, I'll give him the canned answer, like, well, it's like, I guess, cool to meet you, but I don't really know who you are, and neither do you,
Yep.
other than just related.
Yeah,
You know what I
he
mean?
respects it. He says, I'd like to have the time to try to get to know you. And, like, if you bring him over to introduce him to your counterpart here, there's light, awkward conversation, but you can see he's basically at the point where he's probably getting towards the back end of his life.
Yeah,
And he's just trying to make the best of the situation because there may not be another tomorrow.
yeah. I'm assuming that Runa's probably just like dying to be introduced. And so I'll kind of go and get her. Hey Runa, you wanna meet my dad?
Don't say it like that. Yes.
Okay, my dad. I don't know how dads work. I know the physical part of how dads work.
Okay,
but
good.
Yeah.
Because I would hope so.
Yes. But like, I don't know. Like, this is not some kind of. I don't want you to think of this as like some kind of monumental thing in our relationship because like I just met him, so like it's kind of like we're just meeting a guy.
But he's your dad.
I'm more nervous about meeting your family.
So, the awkward older gentleman type thing, yeah, that's just all dads. That's how mine is.
Does he always wear those perfectly white shoes too?
Oh yeah, he was
when he mows the
ex-military.
lawn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of pockets on.
Yeah.
I have a lot of pockets too. I guess I get it honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just bring Runa over and introduce her.
She's going to absolutely, in the friendliest manner possible, embarrass both of them. Yep.
That's a very interesting conversation and scenes that take place through the night that kind of brings a little bit of lightheartedness, much needed to kind of.
I tell him about the time that she, one shot that one guy that was my counterpart,
and then when a giant fell on me and murdered me,
and we died together.
Tenant is going to make sure his wife is taken care of.
I would also like to ask Tenant about the sword, and then probably attune to it as well.
Tenant is also going to ready himself the best he can. He talks with the queen. He gathers what he can to arm himself. He's going to approach, probably not you right off the bat, but he'll approach the remaining who are not doing anything and just say, my place will be on the battlefield. My aid will be better here to help them survive and try to have a fighting chance.
Fair.
Can I ask him about these potions that I stole from him?
I don't even remember.
Let's
see.
One's hill giant. No, that's actually not his.
I was gonna say those were.
One's yellow fluid streaked with black.
Yeah. Let me go look at his character sheet. Maybe. He is in.
We collected.
Demon.
Very, very fair.
Oh, and we should probably decide who wants the other two magic amulets. I'm guessing Ilias, but I don't know if Iman's special funny things, helmet, whatever, all the presents he got, did anything.
All right.
Not sure.
So, because I wasn't there with us. So.
Just to move things along, let's see. He has those potions. His inventory is Potion of Speed. The other one is Potion of Heroism. The Heroism is for an hour after you drink it, 10 temp HP.
Can't be frightened.
Correct. Under the effect of the Bless spell, essentially. That's
Ooh. That's my favorite spell. But I'm getting that from being married anyways, right?
No, you're getting a boost of +2 to your
the
AC.
Potion of Speed is the yellow potion.
Okay, and then the blue one was the potion of heroism.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And then he had a potion of healing that was not a potion of healing.
Correct.
Do we have
We already found that one
to
out.
attune to those amulets?
You do not need to attune to them.
Sick.
They are literally just put them on and you're kind of protected.
So I'm gonna put one of those on, and then I'm gonna, because I am curious about this helm. I'm gonna cast Identify on that.
Yep. Give me a second on that.
Yep.
Let me find the sword.
Oh, yes.
It is Defender Short Sword. It's +3 bonus on attacks and damage. The first time you make an attack with the sword on each of your turns, you can transfer some or all of the sword's bonus to your armor class instead. Using any of the attacks, so you could take 1 point from the +3 and put it to your AC, and then the +2 would carry over the sword.
For the whole turn?
Or you could
For the whole turn.
eat, yeah.
Okay.
So you can pull all 3 points. You can divvy it up how you want, and it's first time you attack each turn.
That's
So you
lit.
can. This is why you didn't want to give it up.
What I was doing.
I'm trying to get actual useful spells.
I'll give him my +3 longsword if he would like.
He'll take
in
it.
exchange.
He'll take it. He needs everything he can. He whips it around and sees it's really good.
If you have
I'd give him the necrotic sword.
I can give up tons of
If you
stuff.
have
The
one of those.
necrotic?
Yes. It's not going to be any help for us.
All right.
It didn't say anything against necrotic.
It's true.
Twilight
I thought
is going
that
to work
too.
with you and tell you what she has learned. She is attuned to it, but she'll show you how to attune to it.
Okay.
Here's what it does. It's basically an attunable object. You put it on. It allows you to transfer consciousness to artifacts, magic items, humanoids, homunculi, or other vessels that are like willing. So you could basically take the consciousnesses that are in your head and put it into something that can hold it, whether it be another item or whatever. You can do vice versa too. So if it's an item that has a sentient life form in it, you can extract and you can basically shift them around. So if you wanted to save yourself, you could put yourself into an item, which if you remember correctly is kind of what got the old man in trouble. Tinkering around with that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Also, the book is laid to you and says, this was given to me by me. Don't ask, is what she says. But either you or your cleric friend will be able to use it. It is a very powerful artifact, and it is an attuned item.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna. I do have that night. I do have enough to do cast identify on both of those objects. So.
Okay, so it is the Book of Exalted Deeds. It is a very well-known artifact book, and once you are attuned to it, you gain the resistance against psychic damage. You're immune to disease for an hour. You can cast Branding Smite 2nd level. After casting, you have to roll a d6. If you roll 1 through 5, you can't cast it again until dawn. But if you roll a 6, you can cast it again. You also can cast 3rd level Revivify with the same rules. So if you have to revivify somebody, and now you have a blue crystal, you should be somewhat protected. But you need the finger to open the book. So you have to get the finger from Nox.
Yeah.
You'll press it. If he relinquishes it, he may not want to. It's his trophy. He may need trade some trades.
Put it under my pillow. And the amulets
are not attuned. They're not in there. They're just
allow you
imagination.
to cast
Magic without having to roll.
Oh, sweet.
Shit.
So you don't have to make the wild magic roll.
I don't know if I need this amulet.
I mean, I have baby heals.
Nox. Can I get that weird mummified finger that
It might
you were
be better
getting
for you.
just for a minute?
I'm not going to use a ton. I'm going to use fancy.
Pull it out and
I use a
like
couple
remove
things.
like a finger and like put a
Taking a
hole
chance
there.
on
Put the finger there. Like, this
a
one?
lot of Maybe I'll
Take my strong hand.
Yeah.
We don't need to identify.
So using it, you can see it as a mummified finger. It was the middle finger.
Okay.
Yep. You put it on the book.
Put it on the book.
The latch will, and you'll start attuning it. You'll have to read through it. So you'll spend a lot of time trying to read through
The
it.
Healy
Alright,
ones.
I'm gonna unattune from a ring of protection.
Mm-hmm.
But probably would be
Unless.
more helpful because I think you're
Yeah.
flame arrow and
Yeah, I don't ever even use that.
Is there anything else anybody wants to do for their downtime activities before we long rest and proceed to the wedding ceremony?
The only thing I'll do
disguise self we can't use.
before take the long rest is talk to the sword. Like, hey, very good chance we're gonna die tomorrow.
Summon elementals.
It is always a good day to die, my friend. That's what you'll hear.
What form do you want me to take?
And it's concentration, so.
It'll commune.
So hunters.
That's a good inspiration if you don't have it. You can commune with her, and she will tell you descriptively in trance in your brain, and it'll basically be her form. So it'll be this very beautiful Eladrin elf.
All right,
Aww.
we're doing this.
Remember, you can also take her out of that sword too, if Bryan uses the helm. Just throwing it out there.
I could, but I would need a vessel to put her in.
That's true.
Do we have any homunculi?
Future
laying
adventures.
around? Do we have any homunculi laying around?
No.
You're in the Fae. Who knows?
Not that I'm aware of. You can.
Can it be put into a dead body?
Has to be a living vessel.
Some man.
So you could literally put it inside if you
Where's
if
the
you want to play if you want to play God,
Yeah.
little G there, you could always find some way. Or if you had a way to, like
Where's
if you
that guy?
if
That
you
guy?
had like a piece of
Didn't
somebody,
he love necromancy?
you could
cool, yeah.
you could literally use that spell
Yours.
to try to bring them back and put them back in their own body too. But all kinds of crazy shenanigans.
Do we know what type of damages the Prince of Demons does?
You know that he is a mental fuckery person.
Well, yeah, I get that.
Mhm.
Anything else?
That's about it.
Okay.
That's about all you guys have encountered. Very large, very physical.
Nothing in the demonology book.
Nope. They are a lot of hypotheticals and a lot of research, but the person who wrote the book is alive because he wrote the book. He didn't go against the Prince of Demons.
So just to like review through the demonology book again,
Sure.
it does not say anything about the demon being resistant to necrotic damage.
It lists all the things that it was.
Resistance from cold, fire, lightning, poison, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing have no effect. Cannot be charmed, frightened, or exhausted. Has true sight.
Non-magical weapons on those.
So yeah,
So as long-
Necrotic work.
so necrotic should work, right?
should.
Okay.
Remember, it's all hypotheticals and notes.
I know it'll be very interesting. I smack it with it the first time. I like heal him half of his health. That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen.
Sweet.
We'll see.
Well, you'll be going first.
He's
ish,
also
'cause
he's
you're
also
fast,
been
so
trying
we'll find out
to.
fast.
You're pretty sure he's been tinkering around and probably going to create his own weave, based off what you read. That's what he's doing.
Dreamweaver.
I got to give you that because that helps the viewers follow along. And you've read the book, and I would say with downtime activity, light conversation, you guys are intelligent enough to put it all together. Bryan was already like halfway on the track. So, I mean, like, I feel like it's acceptable downtime conversation and lore you guys can pick up. So essentially what he's trying to do is break it, and he wants to become the main conduit. He wants to that way. If he ties in, he controls the multiverse.
He's trying to monopolize the multiverse.
And then if you read the thing, he's going to suck everything into the abyss where he rules.
Sounds lit. Okay.
Okay, so, yeah, this book is
Legit.
nuts.
Yeah, it is. It's a legit thing.
I was gonna say, if you're not already attuned to 3, you definitely need it. And even if you are, you still probably definitely need it.
Yeah, I was attuned to 3 items. I've dropped my my ring of protection or amulet of protection.
Is there anything else you guys wish to do?
Does anyone have any open slots for an amulet of protection?
No, I'm just trying to change my spells real quick.
I am happy with my 2 dice.
I can use reincarnate.
Oh, good. We're gonna need that.
I'm gonna say this as to the general group. If I die and Rena dies, just please just leave me
Okay.
dead. Thank you.
I'm
What if
holding
I'm
on to
going
my
back
bag
out?
of ball bearings. We're gonna
I
trip
mean,
this.
I'm gonna say the same thing to her. Just let me rest.
Just down into the pit.
He's gonna fall
Goodbye.
back into the pit.
That's how you banish him. I banish you with ball bearings.
No.
Ball bearings of banishment. My one weakness.
never.
Okay, we're all content. You guys can settle down after having food, drink, conversation, lightheartedness to try to lighten the mood. The morale is as good as it's going to get because most of these people really feel like this is it for us. We're doing this for our future generations, our kids, etc., etc.
All the little.
You guys will complete a long rest, and you will also level up.
Da-na-na-na.
Okay.
Because you're going to need it.
As we going?
You look right. Yep.
And you've earned it.
Are we?
This is not a
taking
gift, so
break
No,
now?
Well, you want to go with the wedding ceremony before we...
Before we end. I was just determining if we want to like level up now or do the ceremony now or start with the ceremony.
I feel like you can
Start with the
probably... I
ceremony.
feel like you could probably go ahead and do the ceremony, and then we can level up off screen, and
Okay.
then when we come back, it'll be either your
Battle's end.
greatest epic battle or the end of this world.
Yay!
Yeah.
And it looks like we've reached the end of this chapter of our tale. We want to thank everyone for watching Creating Grin. Please click the subscribe button down below, smash the bell button so you can keep up to date with the newest episodes. Leave us a comment, thumbs up our videos. You can check us out on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, or at crit_eating_grin, TikTok at Creating Grin. And until next time, keep grinning.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye!
Okay.